The young man who turned despair into hope. There once lived a young man named Edric Holloway in a small, forgotten village tucked away in the English countryside. Edric's childhood was marked by hardship. His father had left when he was just a boy, and his mother fell gravely ill, leaving him to care for her with barely enough food on their modest table. Though his pockets were empty, Edric's dreams were vast. He often whispered to himself on cold, lonely nights, "One day, I'll build something bigger than myself, a place where no child will feel alone as I did." When Edric turned 19, his mother passed away in the dead of winter. With no family left and nowhere to go, he slept under the crumbling bus shelter near the village square. Bitter winds would cut through his worn coat as he clutched an old book his mother had given him, the only warmth left from her memory. One icy night, when Edric was about to give up entirely, an old man named Reginald Clark, a retired schoolteacher, found him shivering. Reginald offered him a flask of tea and said softly, "My boy, life's harsh winds either break you or build you. You choose which one. Every mountain you ever climb is made of small, hard rocks. Step by step, you'll find your way, but only if you don't stop walking." These words struck a spark in Edric's chest. The next morning, he rose with a vow, no more waiting for miracles. He would become his own miracle. He found work at a local dockyard, hauling crates heavier than his thin frame could bear. The foreman mocked him, calling him a ragged dreamer. But Edric didn't mind. He'd repeat under his breath, "Laugh now. One day, you'll work beside me, not above me." With every pound he earned, he bought used books at the local market. After grueling shifts, he would sit under the dim street lamps, reading until his eyes stung from exhaustion. Sometimes, he would spend the night in the public library's doorway because it stayed warmer than the streets. The old librarian, Mrs. Agatha Trent, noticed him one night and began slipping him extra books and sandwiches. It was the first true kindness he had received in years. As months turned into years, Edric taught himself basic business skills, saving every spare coin. He struck up conversations with traders from nearby towns, offering to help them carry loads in exchange for advice. Slowly, he built trust and small partnerships. By the time he turned 25, Edric scraped enough together to open a tiny second-hand bookshop by the river. He called it Holloway's Haven. But his bookshop wasn't just for profit. He opened the back room for orphans and struggling children to come in, warm up, and learn. He gave free lessons, hot meals, and above all, hope. Word spread throughout the town. The ragged dreamer became a symbol of grit and generosity. Edric invested every bit of profit into the children, buying them winter coats, notebooks, and even finding them apprenticeships with local craftsmen. But the road wasn't smooth. One year, a fire gutted his shop. Many whispered, "That's it for him. He was never meant to succeed." But Edric saw the ashes as soil. He rebuilt Holloway's Haven twice as large with help from the very children he had once helped. He taught them carpentry, bookkeeping, and the power of community. Years later, Edric stood before a new generation in his thriving youth center. He smiled, looking at their hopeful faces, and said, "There was a time when I slept in the cold, then thought I was worthless. But the truth is, no storm can last forever. When you feel swallowed by darkness, light your own lamp. Build your own bridge out of despair. No one else can do it for you." The message: when life gives you nothing, build your something with your own hands. Despair is just the soil. Hope is what you grow in it. Be the helping hand you once needed. Never let your dreams stay trapped in your head. Give them roots and wings. One small act of kindness can create a ripple that changes hundreds of lives. And so, Edric Holloway's story lives on. In every child who steps into his haven and walks out with hope burning in their chest.